Welcome into Day by Day. I'm James with Mike, Alex, and Andrew. We are brought to you by no one yet. So if you want to be a sponsor for a show with a couple hundred subscribers, we're open. You can find us on characterchronicles.com, YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Hit the like button and subscribe to the show. It helps more people find us. We have a packed show. How are you guys doing? You ready to roll? It's Michigan week.
Great.
We're finally here.
Let's talk some ball.
The week is rolling.
It's only Tuesday, guys.
It's only Tuesday.
It's already.
I feel like it's been the longest week ever, and I took the day off to golf.
Yeah, I had a kid get in the car after school, and she goes, feels like Thursday today. And I was like, it's just Tuesday.
Wish.
It's just Tuesday, honey. I'm so sorry. We want it to be Thursday because that means we'd be one day closer to Nebraska, Michigan. We're going to get to that, but we got some things to cover. Guys, we have some really important things to address because things happen you're laughing already. Things happen in the social media world, right? Like things happen in this imaginary town square called X, Twitter. And I kind of get my boxers in a bunch because of it. But it's usually not because I'm wrong. I'm never wrong, right? You guys are never wrong. But there's some things going out there that I want to talk about. And let's start here.
Are we calling people out or no?
Yeah, we can use names, especially if they're more famous than us.
Here we go.
Mike, I want to start with when you are doing math. All right, if something has never happened out of 1,000 times, like what is the percentage that it's happened? Is it 3%?
Something like that.
Less than?
Is it less than? Okay, so it'd be like 0%.
Yeah,
so you know where I'm going.
There you go.
So Tom Fernelli put out this weird list of the fewest times teams have had a 3-and-out this year. And then he was like, okay, guess who was number one? Who's had the fewest 3-and-outs on the year? Almost immediately, he's like, stop guessing. It's Rutgers at 3-point-something%. Well, Rutgers has actually never had a 3-and-out, and Nebraska has also never had a 3-and-out. So again, the way I do math would be like out of the total number of series that you've had, if you've never had a 3-and-out, it'd be 0%. And I know, Mike, you got into this a little bit, and Alex and Andrew. I don't know if you guys saw this, but
what I was wondering, first of all, I think he got his answers with AI because someone asked the question to AI and it spit out the same thing that I don't know if it originated from Tom's tweet or where it got the information, but it was the same numbers. And those were wrong. There's been a couple drives where, Nebraska got stuffed in 4 plays inside the red zone. Was that last week?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that statistically is, I don't consider that a 3-and-out.
No,
I think 3-and-out is you get punted to, you get the kickoff, you go 3 plays and then you punt back. To me, that's a 3-and-out, right?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
So
I think by definition, that's a 3-and-out.
By definition.
Because
a 4-and-out is a turnover on downs.
Yeah, we're not even just getting tricky with the math here, guys. We're also getting tricky with the English language.
Yeah.
Someone replied to me, or I saw it somewhere, well, one time we got the ball back and we went 3 plays and then we kicked a field goal. That's a 3. And I was like, that's not a 3-and-out. We
That's
scored points.
That's a scoring drive.
A 3-and-out is you go 3 plays, you don't get a first down, you punt the ball back.
Guys, what are we doing here?
Okay.
What is happening?
The one spot where I see 3-and-out is I think we took a knee, not this past weekend, the weekend before, to end the half. I'll give you a 3-and-out there, even though it's one play.
But they consider those even on a drive chart, they'll call that a half, or
it's not 3 plays. I know
it's a conceded turnover is what that doesn't count it. You know what I mean?
I get it. I'm just saying for the sake for Tom.
Sure.
I will accept that. I disagree with it. I'll accept it. But still, that's like the one.
I genuinely think
Nebraska's had.
I think he typed it into like some sort of AI generator, and that's what it. I think so.
And
I don't think he didn't pull that from a credible website.
And he never commented on anybody's pushback, which was also strange. Never. Okay, so just so we're all clear, Nebraska has not had a 3-and-out, a traditional 3-and-out this year. Rutgers hasn't either. I don't have access to a database that spits out data in a minute, so maybe there's a few other teams, but still, I think it's pretty impressive to go 3 games and you don't have a 3-and-out.
Yeah.
Okay, next thing.
We should community note him.
So this funny thing, I was going to do that. Apparently, I've only written like 3 or 4 community notes, and apparently people have downgraded my community notes, and so I'm not allowed to write them anymore. So I have to work my way back up by rating other community notes. I actually community noted your tweet, Mike, about Lee Corso.
Was that your
people? Well, one of them was there's no, like, people were writing community notes, and I'm like, there's no note needed. It's his opinion. It was like Mike's making an opinion.
Well, that's what got downgraded.
People didn't like that.
To the point where I was getting like death threats. People didn't like it.
Like, people were ruthless with you. Okay. Second thing, let's talk about. Gosh, there's some weird Husker fans out there who think, people think TJ Lateef should start over Dylan Raiola. There are people that exist on God's green earth that think TJ Lateef should start over Dylan Raiola. I know, Alex, this is something that kind of got stuck in your craw.
Yeah. Which one do you want to start with? Do you want to start with TJ only has to be as 50% good of a passer as Dylan to be as effective? Which, by the way,
I don't even know how to respond.
What does that mean? Like, are you talking about completion percentage? Like, what?
Half the passing quarterback that Dylan is.
Yeah. Or
like he can throw half as far?
Yeah, that would put him at like
accurate.
35%, because Dylan's like around 70. It'd put him at like 35%.
Dylan's at 70. Dylan's at like 78%.
Yeah.
Okay. So 40, we'll just say 40%.
We'll just call him 50% completion. If it's completion percentage, we'll just say 50%.
He's Scott Frost, Eric Crouch, Tommy Frazier passing.
Oh, yeah.
Which, by the way, different era, right?
Different era. 12 passes a game.
Have to be able to complete minimum 60% of your passes in this offense.
Yep.
So no, like that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it as no there. So we'll move on to the next one.
What was the other one?
Has never played against a Power 4 opponent.
Never.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew, I've been rage baited here. I'm pretty sure.
Was this all today or yesterday? My days are kind of blending together.
It was Saturday night into yesterday.
That's right. Oh my gosh, it was Saturday night. It was like right away.
Here's how. First off, this will tell you about where I am in my old man development here, guys. But this had me so worked up while I was laying in bed waiting for that Crawford fight to start that when I heard my weekend street racers outside our neighborhood, I went to go find them.
You did?
Like, I got out and went to go find them.
My wife did that once.
I didn't find them, but that's where I was at. I was just that angry.
I thought you said you were just going to stand up and pace back and forth with your phone as you tweet back and forth with people. No, just get out of bed.
He's like, no, I take this to the next level.
Yeah.
I'm racing down street racers. That's how angry I am.
Yeah, I have to project this emotional rage on somebody else.
Yeah. But the second guy yesterday, and James, you got to it before I did. Like, I think you got to it at like 6 a.m. on Sunday.
It's because you sent it to our group chat, and you're who's gonna? And I was like, I'll go after this guy.
Who's taking this one to the pantry?
Yeah.
Dylan has no grit, and he is soft.
Right.
As
To
evidenced
which,
by
yeah, to which I responded, one, did you have a backup quarterback last year that you trusted to throw the ball? I say that as somebody who was a fierce Heinrich Harburg defender.
Yep.
I think Heinrich Harburg would have been serviceable in some cases last year. He cannot command that offense. No shots at Heinrich. I think Heinrich would admit that to you.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. The second thing is, I've watched Dylan step up into the pocket multiple times and take a shot just under the chin last year and this year already. Like, what are we doing here, guys? Like,
look at
I like TJ Lateef. I've made that very clear. I think down the road, he opens up a lot for this offense. But are we going to sit here and pretend that TJ Lateef can do everything Dylan does pre-snap? There might even be a couple of different types of throws that TJ does better. I think he has more zip on that deep ball and he doesn't have to float it as much. There's a couple of things that I think he's better at, obviously the running game. But I don't trust him pre-snap. I just don't.
Or against Big Ten starting defenses. Like, we just don't know. Like, we got to keep in mind the talking points all this week are like, who have we played the last 2 weeks? And that's what we have on tape for TJ Lateef. Like, yeah, he looked really good on a deep ball against Houston Christian.
Yeah. And like Dylan can make every throw that you need to make, including the hardest throw in football, which is just feathering it over that linebacker underneath the safety. There's nobody in college football better at that throw than him today.
Yep.
That is a throw that is going to make this offense work at its highest ability. Could TJ get there someday? Sure. But he's nowhere near where Dylan is on that right now. I mean,
there's NFL quarterbacks who can't make that throw.
No, 100%.
And we watch him every week.
And I think the important thing is, I said it numerous times on both of these threads. We've talked about it on here. Dylan just makes it look easy. And you see a couple of flashy things from TJ against definitely subpar opponents. But they're not even like, we all kind of foamed at the mouth at Dylan's last touchdown pass against Akron. Like that,
one to key. Yeah.
That is ball placement. That is not just making a play. Like, that is if you can make that throw against Akron, you can make that throw against anybody. That is not Cortez Mills blowing by a Holy Cross defender or whatever they were, Houston Christian. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, that's the question. What are we doing?
There's probably, you'd probably say 98% of FBS quarterbacks couldn't have walked down there and put that ball in a better spot than where Dylan put it. And the pre-snap stuff, I think, is so important. It's stuff we can't see. We don't know. We can't hear. We don't know what they're calling. We don't know. But you could see there was a couple times, even against Houston Christian, I think it was the touchdown pass, where I think they had a run called, and he got him in the right call. It was in the red zone. It was the second trip to the red zone. He got him in the right call, right play, touchdown to, I don't know if it was Key or whoever caught the touchdown pass. I think TJ will get there, but he's probably also learning from Dylan in the process. So there's something to be said for that.
Dylan showed grit last year in the bowl game. He was mixing it up with players. Dylan's been boxing in the mornings. Like, the kid played every Big Ten game last year. I don't understand the grit thing. Like, how TJ's shown grit and Dylan hasn't. Like,
because Dylan ran out of bounds once.
Yeah,
short of a first down. That was what was used.
Being a smart
again, go back to like different offenses, and the guy in the Twitter thread, he was like, well, I grew up playing and watching in the 90s. And it's like, well, okay, this isn't Eric Crouch and Scott Frost and Tommy Frazier running the option. Like, his job is to stand back there and throw the ball 40 times a game. And to get to the end of the season. You
don't have Bobby Newcomb and Jamal Lord ready to go too if he goes down. And
when was the last time Nebraska had a starting quarterback play all 12 games?
I was going to say, if you want to run the quarterback to death, we can go through the Adrian Martinez experience again. Like
Adrian didn't start or finish or complete a season.
Yeah.
It wasn't Heinrich. Tommy Armstrong, probably the last one.
Maybe
you got to go back to him.
He didn't run nearly as much as Adrian did, though.
No.
But
even there were times in there where we had other quarterbacks play.
Taylor had to take a lot of snaps.
So you think about that. Like, he played every game in a Big Ten schedule where he still got sacked a lot, because I think our offensive line was okay. It wasn't a world beater. Like, come on, man. And like you said, when somebody is so good on the mental side, sometimes it looks like in the physical side they're moving in slow motion, but it's just he's smooth. And I know you last week you talked about
splash highlights that he doesn't let happen because he does everything up front.
Yeah. I can compare it to like a center fielder he gets a good read off the bat every time. Like, Griffey made it look so easy in center field, and he made some splash plays, right? A lot of Robin home runs, but like, there were times he didn't have to dive for a ball in the gap because he got there on his feet. Andrew Jones was like that, right? Like, guys that, because they were good, they knew where the pitch was going to be, they could see the ball off the bat and made it look easy. And Dylan just does that when he's reading a defense. When I was at the Houston Christian game, it looked like, and I know it was an FCS team, but it's like, man, it just looks like he's playing 7-on-7, and he knows where the ball needs to go. Never was stressed, never in a rush. I don't expect that to happen against Michigan every play, but gosh, he makes it look easy. Yeah. It's fun to watch him.
We know when he is under stress. Obviously, last year's a freshman, he threw some picks, but we also know what he can do. He does have, as Rule has said, he's got the sidearm. He's got all the tools in the tool belt to the flashiness and whatnot. So he just hasn't had to use it this year.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a splash play or two this week.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Enough on that. Before we get to Michigan, I got one more question. Not so much a Twitter deal, but curious. We've had a couple coaches be relieved of their duties this week. Deshaun Foster at UCLA, and then, to be honest, couldn't tell you the guy's name at Virginia Tech, but he was let go. Curious if you guys have any thought on who the next coach to be fired would be in college football.
I got one, because I'd like to fire him myself after my bets this past weekend.
Jeez.
So I have a little backstory here. I have West Virginia under 5.5 wins that I still feel good about. I think West Virginia is in a bad spot this year, talent wise. And then I also live bet Pitt when they got down a touchdown to win the game, and neither of those things happened. So my guy that I think should, and I kind of went down a rabbit hole on Twitter after they lost, and Pitt fans feel the same way. They want Pat Narduzzi gone. Okay. They were honestly one of the sloppiest. It was an absolute disaster of a game. I mean, Pitt's been that way for a while. I don't think they're, very well coached, but I think if Pitt wins like 5 games this year, I think Pat Narduzzi will be, I think he'll be gone at some point. So that's my pick. I was tilted beyond belief because they should have absolutely won that game by like 3 touchdowns, and they lost, and I was not happy. So there's my answer.
I got 2 for you. Luke Fickell
he was actually tops on my list. Yep.
Yeah, Luke Fickell and Billy Napier at Florida.
There you go.
That was my 2. That was my 2.
I had Napier since you said him. I'm gonna go Mike Gundy.
That was my 3rd one.
They're so bad.
I mean, he's just been there forever. I mean, at what point he's in that?
It looks like he's given up. Just
Yeah.
giving up on everything.
The dynamics there are so much different though than like there's some like Scott Frost dynamics at play with that. Sure. Like there's an emotional attachment to it.
Yeah.
Like
but
that's where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
He's really one of the few that have that has had success at his alma mater, right? Like I was thinking through this, like the whole Deshaun Foster thing. Like I didn't tweet this out, but I was like, moral of the story, don't go back to your alma mater. Like keep your alma mater in your mind with rose-colored glasses. Just don't go back so you don't get fired. But Gundy's one of the few guys who did go back, had, I mean, pretty good success for a number of years, and then just dropped off the table. But I can't think of another coach that was like, man,
you could say
good
Pat.
as-
You could say Pat Fitzgerald, like
that's true.
relative.
I guess, yeah. What
I
do
mean,
you wanna call success?
I think he had a great tenure there, other than the other stuff. But
I know that there's probably others. I just couldn't think of any.
Another sneaky one could be Dabo, based on what he said this week. I mean, he kind of pulled the Bo Pelini, like, if you want to fire me. I'll go find another place to coach. Like, I
They're
don't know.
struggling too.
he built that place though. I couldn't. Like it did sound very Bo Pelini.
Okay.
But
that's what I thought of when he said it.
So
maybe he goes to Alabama when they fired DeBoer.
Right.
I don't know why I said that. They're not going to
If
fire
DeBoer
him.
loses another game that he has no business losing, he's on the hot seat.
Do they play Vanderbilt? People are talking about Vanderbilt going to the playoff.
Alabama's got it figured out though. They're a wagon now. They just needed that first game.
Okay. All right. I was curious what you guys thought. Let's get into Michigan.
By the way, sorry, go back to, did anyone watch that UCLA game last week?
I
Yes.
couldn't. I tried.
That
It's
was
on too late.
out here on the West Coast. That was my like prime time game. That was depressing. Like the stadium, I saw it, like Foster's just looking at his play sheet. He just looked like he had no clue what to do, and people are booing. You could tell.
Reminiscent of his first Big Ten media days, which I just
it was.
rewatched that press conference.
Yeah, it was just like, what is this guy even doing as head coach?
You might not know a lot about us. We're in LA. It's us and USC.
So bad. I know. I feel bad for him. I don't know if his agent pursued that job. They came to him. He was not put in a position to succeed.
No.
This program was in disarray before he got there. He had never been a head coach. He had never been a coordinator. So
he was a running backs coach. He was a running backs coach.
I really don't know what they thought was going to happen.
It says way more about the admin there than it does him. It says way more about who would trust the current administration there to make a quality hire for this next go round. Like they hired.
You didn't even give him like media training. You didn't prep him for Big Ten media days. It's a clown show.
Just bad. One of the greatest uniforms in college football.
Mm-hmm.
No administrative strategic focus or empowerment. It's just sad. So I feel bad for him. He deserved better than that. And he deserved to, again, I think they could have said, hey, work your way up and maybe in 5 or 10 years, you'll be ready for this job. But I don't know. Maybe there was some boosters. Like, I don't know. Does UCLA have boosters? Like, again, I just go back to the hiring. Why did you hire somebody with he hadn't even been a head coach of a high school football team.
I think they were hoping for kind of like a Marcus Freeman effect. Like the players were clamoring for him, like bring in the guy that's been the assistant or whatever. Maybe they were just hoping for kind of the intangibles to work out.
Caught lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Weren't they struggling financially too, not too long ago?
Oh, they're like super in debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that kind of answers your questions about administration failures is
sure.
When you have that cloud hanging over you, are you really focused on the best hire, or are you just making a hire?
Yeah.
I mean, their DC left for USC. Chip, who knows what, condition Chip Kelly left it in for him. So,
guys, UCLA's athletic department for the 6th consecutive year has been in the red. its deficit over the last 6 years is $219.55 million. Ooh. Tough to get a football coach when you're that far in debt.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty bad. You know who's not in debt? Nebraska. Nebraska's not. Michigan's not. They face off this week. So let's talk about it. I am excited, and I'm glad I'm not playing because I'm nervous. But that's the privilege of a fan. So, let's talk about what you guys think in terms of, what you've seen from Michigan. I think what's also funny is fans seem to know so much, both sides, but rarely do fans watch other teams. Right? If somebody else is playing at the same time as you are, you're probably not going to watch that team. So I just love on Twitter some Michigan fans. I'd said this to you guys earlier today. Like, people are like, "Oh, well, Michigan's not good, but Nebraska's worse." And I'm like, "Have you even watched Nebraska play? They've done the same thing that Michigan has done to bad teams. Maybe even looked a little better at times." And so I think it's kind of funny. I have watched a little bit of Michigan. Against Oklahoma and Central Michigan, but curious what you guys have seen from them. I know, Mike, you're kind of Michigan obsessed.
I've watched 2 out of that. I didn't watch Central Michigan, but I watched the highlights. I watched the whole New Mexico game and I watched the whole Oklahoma game. So I want to start with their offense and our defense, because that to me, like, is the most fascinating, like, schematic game planning situation. I'm so fascinated of how it's going to play out. Like, so week 1, their offensive play calling week 1 against Oklahoma in Norman was like light and day different. It was terrible. Like, they didn't do anything creative with Underwood. Like, it was just, he sat in the pocket. Everything was super short. Passing game, they didn't take any shots, any play action, anything like that. And then it was hand the ball off to Justin Haynes, and he broke one right at the start of the second half, and that was like pretty much all they had. They didn't do a whole lot offensively week 1, and then New Mexico, it felt like Underwood broke out a little bit. You saw the flashes there, and then like this past week against Central Michigan, they lit it up pretty good. What I found so interesting, and I honestly cannot believe they did this given the game, given who they're playing and what the score was, they called it was only 2, but they called 2 design runs for Underwood, and he had not had a design run yet the entire season up to that point. He rushed 9 total times, so 7 of them were scrambles for well over 100 yards. I don't know. It was like 140 or something like that. And so I thought it was interesting that, like, from a game plan perspective, that they showed that on tape.
Why did they do that?
Right before what I would consider to be a huge game on their schedule. And then the other thing I noticed from them is Underwood, they run a lot of like very slow developing, deep crossing kind of play action plays. And those have worked so far, but they didn't work week 1 against Oklahoma, but they did work against lesser opponents. And hold on.
Yeah, they played Oklahoma week 2.
Sorry, I have those backwards. New Mexico week 1.
Your point still stands, but
yeah,
it is interesting to me. I mean, they struggled against both of those teams.
Yeah. New Mexico's seems like a tough team. I don't know. They put it to UCLA. Yeah. So
yeah.
So anyway, something I'm interested about is like, what does our pass rush look like? And is Underwood going to be able to hold onto the ball for that long, or are we going to be able to disrupt that? And then what is Butler's plan to keep Underwood in the pocket outside of spying him? Is there anything else he plans on doing to keep him in the pocket? Because I noticed as well against Central Michigan, like, they roll him out a ton. Like, it's not, he wasn't staying in the pocket very much. It was a lot of throwing on the run, things like that. So I'm interested in that regard.
What did you see from their receivers?
I don't think they're super talented outside. Like, I fully expect their success to come from the ground game, or like the QB, similar to kind of like what Cincinnati did, kind of that sort of thing. Like, they ran the ball on the ground pretty well, and then it was like Sorsby, so I was actually looking this morning for like some passing props. His passing prop is like I think it was like 160 or something like that. Underwood is. So a lot of people are not expecting him to throw for a ton of yards on Saturday. And I kind of agree with that. Like we've pretty much shut down everybody. So, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't watched a ton of Michigan. So before any Michigan fan rips my head off, I apologize. Not really. Now, the most Michigan I've actually sit down and watched, I don't know if you guys saw, Michael Rose-Ivy did a great thread this week.
Yeah, he did. I was actually just going to talk about that. Take it away.
And I think you're going to see a similar game plan for Michigan that we had against Cincinnati. Obviously, a different look because it's a different style of offense. Hopefully less stunts where our DT isn't getting stood up and pushed back 8 yards. I think they're, to answer your question, Mike, I don't think they're going to try and put overwhelming pressure on Underwood in terms of getting sacks. I think they're going to try and push him one way towards the sideline with a spy, and then they're going to do combo coverages, half man, half zone. I think they're going to get tricky in disguising him up front and try and confuse him at the line of scrimmage, and hopefully rush him and make him feel like, hey, this is going to be zero coverage, and then we drop back into like a cover 2 man type of thing, and just try and confuse him. We talked about this a little bit Saturday. I think after the game, I think I brought this up. I think going into Big Ten play, we're not going to be as good against the run defensively as we were the last 2 years. I don't think there's anybody who feels like we will, and that's going to be a pain point. But I think Butler's going to do enough to get the offense the opportunity to get the lead. And for the first time in a while, I feel comfortable with this team playing with a lead. I think this team has developed that instinct to play with a lead. And if you get up 2 scores on a running team in this conference, you have a really good chance to win if you're not Nebraska the last 9 years.
Yep.
So I think John Butler's and the defense the plan is to force a few early punts and let Dana and the guys, put some points on the board, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think another key would be the crowd and just that environment, that atmosphere for this freshman quarterback. Like, yeah, it's no easy task playing at Norman, but you already hear Dylan bringing it up today in his presser, like, let's make this louder than Colorado last year. And if you can kind of take that formula, in addition to a quarterback that likes to roll out, not necessarily run, but roll out and try to pass, maybe this defense and this team can kind of look at the success they had against Shedeur last year in that environment, in that atmosphere. And I heard a Butler's presser today, and that seemed to be a common thread too, was just confuse the kid, just disguise things and confuse him and get him in situations where he's got to make a quick decision that he's not experienced making. So
with the rollout 2 thing, Andrew, one thing I noticed from his Central Michigan highlights was every scramble he had, he was trying to get out to the right side. Like he wants to roll out right every single time. And so, and they were rolling him out right too. Like I don't think I saw too many where he was going out left. So, I'm interested to see when we send pressure, if Butler picked up on anything like that, and if we're blitzing off the right side to try to make him go left. Because every time the pocket broke down against Central Michigan, he would step up to the right side and take off. Like that was his spot. So that's a tendency. Like that's something I think you'd pick up on as a defensive coordinator. And it's like, let's put pressure right in his face off that right side, make him go the other way.
As far as the running game goes, another thing Rose-Ivy had tweeted, he asked the question, what does Nebraska have to do to stop Michigan's run game? And he he posted a 2.5 minute video of the rushes this season so far for Michigan where they have not been successful. I don't know if you guys saw that. And I commented and basically I just said linebackers were very aggressive and they were probably some run blitz, but they were just relentlessly pursuing at the line of scrimmage. And he just tweeted a gif of a guy, shaking his head yes. And I think this game is going to come down to how Nebraska's linebackers tackle, how they pursue, and what their run fits look like. Are they going to stay true to their training? Are they going to do their job? Are they going to trust their teammates? If they get out of position and you over pursue, you're going to see long runs being broken, right? You're going to see the quarterback get out of the pocket and be able to scramble. So no, I don't think we need a tie and a Nash and hold Michigan to 52 rush yards to win. They might have 125 rush yards. Okay, that's not the end of the world. But I think the game's going to come down to Nebraska's linebackers play fast and aggressive and tackle well. Can't have missed tackles.
Yeah.
Can't have Haynes spinning out of a tackle or slipping through and going for an extra 5, 10, 8, 15 yards.
Yeah.
And I also see you gotta we're gonna give up the scramble at times, and it's
gonna happen.
It's not, hey, end of the world, but in a way, is this sort of a bend not break type of game? They're obviously, we don't want them converting 3rd and longs. But if they have a few long second down runs that get them downfield a little bit, but we hold up on that end, then that might be the formula.
And I think to your point, James, too, with the linebackers, this is the first time all year where the linebackers are going to have more freedom to play at the line of scrimmage. You're not going to see a lot of four wide sets or 3 wides with a split out tight end.
You're going to see a lot of 2 tight ends
on
one
the line.
Wide receiver set. Yep.
And so I think you're going to get more linebackers filling those holes than normal because there's not they still have the same coverage keys, but they're not going to be spread out as far.
And
I would love to just put our DBs on islands too, and just trust them.
Agree.
And let's stack the box on this guy and just make him make throws.
I would be fine blitzing every play.
Right. I think we can trust our defensive backs at this point. And honestly, I've heard this from many Michigan fans on Twitter. They're not super high on their receivers.
Agree.
I even think they're not even very high on their offensive line either.
Agree.
This is not the offensive line that they've had in years prior. So let's put as much pressure on the line of scrimmage and just challenge a freshman quarterback in front of 90,000 plus people. Yeah. And just
that's interesting because Butler said, somebody said, what makes Michigan's run game so effective? And he really boiled it down to their running back is legit. That's a quote.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He said their running back, it's the running back.
He's their best player.
And it's not the line is the 95 Nebraska pipeline. It's not their downfield blocking. It's their running back. And so that's why I'm tackle well.
Yep. Gang
tackle, run to the ball.
Yep.
But again, if you get to your point, Alex, if Nebraska gets Michigan's defensive line and linebackers are good, but all it takes is 1 second. All it takes is one missed tackle. If you can get up by 2 scores, it is going to be tough for Michigan, I think, to fight their way back into the game with receivers that their own fan base is saying, they're kind of meh.
And this is why too, James, this is why I would be totally fine if we blitzed every play with man coverage, because I would much rather us lose on them making chunk play after chunk play, beating a blitz, putting the ball right on the money, and beating our secondary. Let's put the pressure on them. Don't let them march up and down the field. Put the pressure on them to execute.
Yep.
Big could be Big Jack game Like this
For
Tom
sure.
Polo, you see him line up wide last week. McGahee was a player that we were all excited about coming into the year, but yeah, use some of these athletic guys that are going to be up on the line and chasing that young freshman. So, one other question I was asked. Sorry, Mike, and then your point.
No, go ahead.
Does not having head coach, does that affect the freshman quarterback on the road in this environment? What do you guys think? Or is that even just a point?
I don't
that
know.
we're
I
reading
mean,
too much into.
I don't know.
I don't know the dynamics there. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how much he's talking to Underwood during the game in between the series, or how much of that is quarterback coach, how much of that is coordinator. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how they're handling that.
Yeah. It's not maybe a Scott Frost, Adrian Martinez relationship, or, like where the head coach is the offensive guru, sort of.
I will say, Andrew, like during the Oklahoma game in Norman, like they showed Underwood on the sideline multiple times, and he was like super emotional about something going on, like yelling back and forth with people on the sideline. So if we could get into that game flow of like Colorado last year, where I felt like Colorado had an opportunity based on what they can do, like to get back in the game, throwing the ball around. Like if we get, as James said, if we get Michigan down 2 scores, like I think we're good. So.
All right. So what would you guys, if you guys had a couple keys for the game, what would you say it is? I think we've kind of talked through them, but I'll kind of start. Other than what we've said, I think special teams is going to be so key. You probably saw Nebraska's the highest rated special teams unit in the nation, despite kicking 2 kickoffs out of bounds. I don't know how they rate special teams, right? Neither of those kickoffs out of bounds resulted in points for the other team, yada, yada. Michigan actually isn't too Michigan is in the top 20, I think. But what I heard on Twitter from some people who pay attention to Michigan football is they said our special teams has struggled. So again, I haven't watched, but I'll keep going back to this every game if I have to. Can you steal yards in special teams? Can you essentially make up the difference between 2 to 3 first downs throughout the game with your punt return, your kickoff return yards compared to what Michigan is producing? So I just think that's going to be key. I don't see this as a game where we won't punt. So Archie, let's have a game, man. Let's make Michigan go 90 yards.
No, we're redshirting Archie, boys.
I'd love that. Well, he did play last week.
He's not getting benched this week.
All right. So
Nate,
I'll just throw special teams out there. Keep kicking your field goals, make your field goals. They will matter this week. We want 6, but I could see this easily being a lower scoring game. And by lower, I mean, low 20s. Field goal could be a difference. So special teams.
I'm going to say sound tackling. Like you already brought that up, James. Just tackle when at that point of contact. And then offensively, I'm going to say protect the ball. We've lost this game. We've lost too many games in the past few years on losing that turnover back. So let's not fumble it in the red zone. Let's not fumble it when and then now I say that is like finish drives in the red zone. That's probably a huge key, but protect the ball. And Dylan's going to have the most pressure he's felt all year, just by nature of who we're playing. So can he protect the ball and make good decisions?
Did you hear Dana's comments on the red zone struggles today?
I did not.
He said, somebody asked him about that, and he said, he went back to the first drive against Houston Christian. He said there were 2 checks on 2. Well, he said you can't waste plays, and he said there were 2 checks that the wide receivers didn't get, and he said that's just, you can't have that. It's unacceptable. So it's things like that where you're like, okay, the play was changed, but they didn't pick it up. And so now not everybody's on the same page. So you wasted a play. You wasted 2 plays. Things like that I think, again, you get into rhythm. Those things can be fixed, right? You can't fix if somebody is, 6 foot and they need to be 6'6" to leap and catch a. You can't fix that. But you can fix focus and intentionality inside the red zone. So I'm hoping this is the week they fix that. Actually, I hope they're never in the red zone. I hope they just Score on
Score
explosive plays
from 30 yards out.
Score. Yeah. All right, Mike or Alex, you got a couple keys.
Go ahead, Alex. Oh, okay. I'll say I kind of already mentioned this, but like I think it's important to keep Underwood in the pocket on the defensive side. I really hope we stack the box like I talked about and just like make him make deep throws. But like try to cut his time in the pocket down. Like he had all day last week to throw. See if we can cut that down and make him feel that pressure and be uncomfortable. Offensively, we kind of started the show with what I hope, like, let's just not have drives that stall out with like a 3 and out. Like keep them on their side of the field. Even if we don't score, like I don't trust their offense to just go 90 yards or go 80 yards.
Yeah.
Like I think if we can stay on the positive on that side, and even if we're not scoring every possession, like at least move the ball, get it into an advantageous spot, and then pin them back and let our defense go to work. So keep the ball moving, win the field position battle, and then score when you have the opportunity to score.
Yep. I'm gonna go with a specific aspect on the offense. This has been I haven't vocalized it here, so this will be a first one for you guys, but this has been a common complaint that I've had for the last year and this year. Some of this is on Dylan, some of it isn't. But what can you do with the ball after the catch? Run after catch yards are going to be huge in this game. Their defensive line and linebackers are really good. You have to show the ability to make something happen after you catch the ball to open up some running lanes for Emmett. Like that's the only way that we're going to really be able to run the ball effectively. So can Dylan give the guys the opportunity to run after the catch? Can those guys make the play? Like that's part of it. So that's a big one. Obviously, special teams is always going to be a big one on all of our lists because it's been so bad for so long. But defensively, same thing we've all talked about, like make plays. Can you force Michigan into 2 3 and outs early in the game? Can you force them into 2 3 and outs early in the game, get them frustrated? Because I to Mike's point, I saw the Oklahoma game. They cut to it on the broadcast with Underwood and I can't think of the running back's name off the top of my head right now.
Justice Saints.
Yeah, they were yelling at each other on the sideline. Can you force them into adversity within themselves?
Yeah.
Basically, can you do what everybody else has done to Nebraska for the last decade? And if you can, you got a good shot.
Oh, how the turntables.
Calm down, Michael Scott.
All right. Okay, predictions. Let's do it. Nebraska's about what are they, Mike? 1.5 underdog right now?
2.5 point underdog.
Okay. 2.5 now. Oof.
Who wants to kick it off?
I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So, James, you kind of like the under, I think you said in this game. I like the over in this game. I think Michigan.
What is it right now? 44.5?
45.5. I got in earlier. I got 44.5. So I didn't get through a key number or anything, but I still feel like I've got a better number than the market. The reason I like the over, I think Michigan will have some success on the ground, and I like where our offense is at too. So I think there's going to be some points. I'm going to go 28-24 Nebraska. That's what
that's not too different than what I probably would have an over as well. But
okay.
Yeah.
So hold on. Alex and I predicted that Nebraska would lose this game 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
I just rewatched the clip today. So 3 weeks ago, we both agreed, having the season hadn't started yet. We're like, we think Nebraska is going to start 3-1 with a loss to Michigan.
Yep.
Now, where are you at? Where are you at today?
I'm taking Nebraska. I actually have it a little bit bigger than Mike has it, but still the over.
Like 50-0?
No. I have it 31-20.
Okay. I like it.
And I like Yeah, I have a 2-score win. And again, I like our offense as well. So I'm going 38-28. Nebraska by 10.
38-28. All
Yep.
right. Okay, guys, I don't know if you're ready for this. I'm going to put my prediction and my oddly specific prediction together.
Wait,
Okay.
Imagine
All
the
right,
scenario. A lot of field goals kicked in this game. It's 27-27. Nebraska gets the ball back with 1 minute and 58 seconds left after a punt. We go to the 2-minute timeout. Nebraska has 73 yards to go, and it's Dylan Raiola legacy drive time. We move the ball down to the 23-yard line, and Kyle Kunanen kicks a field goal to win the game, 30-27. Nebraska.
Beautiful. Except my heart may have stopped.
We will
at that point.
all die if that happens.
Feels
But
eerily similar to the last time Michigan came to Lincoln, but the result was not the same.
Yeah.
It will be poetic justice. The stars will align. Everything will be right with the universe if Nebraska beats a top 25 team with a field goal, a last-second field goal, as time expires.
Can we talk about, before we get too far into the oddly specific predictions, which, by the way, I was right last week. Just want to throw that out there. 0
What was your
return yards.
0? Yes, right. Yes, you are so right. Hey, their punter was
Awful.
so bad but good.
Yeah,
It
he
was
got some
so
good
bad.
rolls.
It was so bad but good.
Can we
Effective.
just talk about how college football is being robbed of this one not being a night game? 2:30 kickoff.
Can we talk about how college game day is going to be at Miami and Florida?
Are they? Ugh.
Florida's 1-2.
DJ, did you guys see the Josh Pate clip? DJ Lagway had more interceptions on Saturday than like 121 FBS teams all season.
Yeah. 5? Like 5
Yeah,
in
through
first-
5 picks. Yeah.
Also, he still has better Heisman odds than Dylan Raiola.
Yeah,
So
of course.
stupid.
So does Underwood, I'm sure, right?
So stupid.
All right, Mike, oddly specific prediction.
Whoa. Did you guys all give scores? You all did,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. We all got Nebraska winning. Okay,
I'm gonna
oddly
go-
specific prediction.
I almost wanted to go back to the well and say Deshaun McCullough strip sack touchdown. I thought I was close last week. We had it, but it just was the wrong player. I'm gonna go Sierra Wright pick 6. He's gonna jump a route. He's gonna jump a route and take it. Sierra Wright pick 6.
Lord knows he has the energy for it because he hasn't played.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
What
did
has
you
he
guys
done?
see this? He's been targeted 10 times and only allowed 1 catch.
Yeah.
He's gonna catch one for himself.
Yeah, 4 yards, by the way, on that
Let's
one
do
catch.
it. Let's do it. All right, and Alex.
yeah,
oddly specific prediction.
I'm not going to go pick 6, but I'm going to say Sierra Wright has interception in the first half. I think freshman Bryce Underwood is going to feel like he's gotten in a rhythm, and he's going to want to show his 5-star status, and he's going to try it against the wrong guy.
Yep. Andrew.
Man, I feel like there's a little bit of an unknown player, a no-name player that needs to break out because he's been very, very close. I'm going to say Kenneth Williams has a
Kick return.
82-yard kick return for a touchdown.
That'd be
I like
awesome.
that one. I like that
Not
one.
82. We can't go 82. 92.
It'd be a short kick, but
Yeah.
92 would make more sense. Yeah.
Yep.
But still, I like that. Again, special teams at stealing. There's 10 first downs right there, plus points.
Yep.
So, yeah. I like it. Okay. What I do want to end with, well, 2 things actually. I do this every week. Every freaking week. I say, hey, I want to end with this. Then I keep talking. First of all, shout out to, is it Brendan Sorsby, who's just torn up the field the last 2 weeks. So good on you, man. You did nothing against Nebraska. I know you had rush yards, right? Scrambles, but I think coming out of that game, everybody's like, man, the guy can't throw. And he went 15 of 15 for like 280 yards last week.
And just like the first half, right? You only play the first half.
He only played the first half. I think Cincinnati scored 1 billion points.
Yep.
He obviously can play. He probably won't be an NFL quarterback, whatever. We're not in the NFL. Nebraska absolutely shut down their high profile, high flying, Big 12 offense. But what I will say is, and Mike, I know we talked about this earlier on Twitter, I hope Nebraska wins, obviously. I think they have a good shot. It doesn't ruin their season if they lose. It just ruins, it lowers the ceiling. We all predicted 8 to 9 wins, and we were happy with that. I'd still be happy with that. But if they win, you're cooking with gas and you're looking at 10 or 11 wins, right? But that's what we all think. Because then your October schedule is bye week, Michigan State, Minnesota, Maryland, Northwestern. Hello.
It unlocks like a level of confidence that this program hasn't had in 20 years, 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Like if we can prove that we can beat a ranked team, like there it is. There's the monkey off the back.
You know what this game reminds me of? The 2009 Missouri game against Blaine Gabbert. Like this is the game where like, okay, we might be for real. Like that's.
I watched that game. I watched that game in the middle of the night in South Africa.
By the way, you did that without a quarterback.
We had no quarterback.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I rewatched that game a couple weeks ago because I watched it through it wasn't a great feed. And then I ended up listening to a lot of it because I was 10,000 miles away. I didn't remember almost any of it.
Yeah.
What a game. I felt like I relived it for the first time.
Unreal game. Oh, I'm going to add one to the oddly specific predictions before you finish up, James. Rex Guthrie comes up with a big third down stop. Either tackling somebody short, and it's going to be while the game is in the balance, or breaking up a pass.
He's been the hot name on Twitter this week.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's because Rule said NFL scouts were asking about him.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was great to see. I mean, essentially the second string defense. It was kind of like first and second string together on the field, almost right from the jump against Houston Christian. Like Guthrie was out there right away. Long, Benning. I still don't know what Van Poppel is, if he's a starter or not. He's got a single digit, but he's not listed as a starter, but he was out there essentially from the beginning. I feel really good about first and second string defenders right now. I do. I know we're small on the defensive line. We can't change. That's something that's like, you can't change that. So you got to overcome it in other ways. I think they can do it with their defensive backs and putting them on islands and using linebackers up front and just, making it a slog up the middle, make it tough for Michigan to run.
I think that's a huge point. One, we have a lot of young guys that have gotten in and had experience, and two, because of that, we have a lot of fresh bodies, and guys are going to be pretty fresh, should be, especially on offense. So
this seems like a 10 tackle game for a guy like Deshaun Singleton, right?
Yeah, we haven't even talked about him much, and I know there were times last year where I think all of us were frustrated with his performance. But I don't know if it's credit John Butler, credit Matt Rule, or if he just gets it now.
Yeah.
But he's playing at an incredibly high level.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it is. Maybe it will be a 10 tackle game. I also had this thought, man, what if we just blow them out? It probably won't happen. But
what if this offense is what it's shown that it is?
I mean, you guys know, like there's times Ohio State goes and plays in West Lafayette and Purdue just trounces them. Like it happens, right? Like stuff like that happens. So I'm probably just dreaming, but I just had this fleeting thought as I was driving home today. Like, man, what if we just beat them like 42-14?
It's unlikely, but there is a world where you jump out 14-17 nothing, and the wheels fall off the bus for Michigan. Unlikely, but that world exists. That world exists for us too, though, right? Like if Michigan comes in and goes up 14-0, a lot of those old feelings come back in the stadium for the fan base and for the team.
That happened a little bit in Norman, where they scored kind of like a fluky 80-yard Justice Haynes rushing touchdown the second half, and then like the wheels completely fell off for Michigan after that. So the game flow for their offense, like they need to be in the game. They can't just like throw their way back into the game. I don't think they can. In a couple of years when Underwood's more developed and he's older, I think they can, but not this year.
And they have the receivers. Like that's a huge part of this is their receivers just aren't top end for the conference.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock. They're good receivers.
But even when they have like they had Nico Collins how many years ago, and his last year at Michigan he had like 700 yards, and he's like a top 10 receiver in the NFL now.
Yeah.
Like, it's like even when they do have the guys, like they don't even, I don't know. So we'll see.
I think that's why it's so important. This game is at home. I feel better about it because it's at home. I think you feed off that energy. And it's like, if you win the toss, you kick off, you get a stop, you get the ball back. Again, I trust Holgerson. If I'm assuming they script their first series or two, I trust what they're doing. They're coming in knowing this is what we're going to run. This is what we're going to do. Man, you get up by 14 points right away. It's going to be tough for Michigan if they get hit in the mouth. Now, again, same thing could happen to us. But I do trust our passing game more because of the receivers, because we're playing at home. Mm-hmm. And again, like, I mean, we could talk about run game, pass, all we want. Like, again, I think because I think our defensive backs are our secret weapon right now. I think they are. I think John Butler is a secret weapon. I think they're going to, I mean, Drake, you and I have talked about it. It's been so vanilla the last 3 weeks on both sides of the ball. I think there's stuff that Michigan will have never seen. Same with them. But the advantage is they did play Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. They wanted to win the game.
Yeah. Both teams want to win the game. Remember that, fans. Both teams are going out there to win the game.
Both teams are going out there to win.
So I think this is the game, guys. This is the first game since Dana's been here where you're going to see like full-blown Dana Holgerson. Like,
yeah.
We talked about it a little bit the last two games, the struggles in the red zone. Some of that is him playing with this food. Some of it, I've played for coaches like this in basketball. I've coached like this at times. Like sometimes when you're playing against lesser opponents or it's early in the year, coaches kind of let guys try and figure it out themselves. And then you're like, okay, you tried it your way. It didn't work. Now we're going to do it my way. And if you don't do it my way, you're not going to play. And I think that's where they're going to be at this week.
I agree.
Yeah. The hype train's rolling. I feel so much better now.
Guys, if we win, I'm telling you, you go into a bye. That's the important thing. They're going into a bye week. Win or lose, you're going into a bye week.
I don't want a bye week if we win, though. Like,
right.
I want more Nebraska football when we're winning.
The great thing, I don't know what the injuries will be like after this game, playing another Big Ten team, but they're really healthy. Mm-hmm. When was the last time we could say 3 weeks in we were really healthy?
Knock on wood.
I don't believe in that. But
you
I'll
had to say it.
If we have injuries, I will say I do believe in that now. So
now here's the thing, guys.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute.
Just jinxed two things.
Hold
tonight.
on. Wait a minute. It's a recording. What if I edit it out?
It doesn't matter. We all know you said it.
It's out there.
Okay. I guess I'll leave it in.
Ugh.
I don't mind going into a bye week if we win. I really would hate going into a bye week with a loss.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, James, 1, if we have a devastating injury, or 2, our kicker has a chance to kick a game-winning field goal and he shanks it, I'm coming for you.
He's not going to miss. He's the new Alex. So every time he makes a field goal, my wife looks at me and she's like, "Is he the new Alex Henry?" My wife loves Alex Henry, and she's not like a huge football fan, but like she's like, I just think it's amazing that he at one point, she knows he's the most accurate kicker in NCAA history, or it was. I think Kyle Cunanan is that. I'm going to speak it into existence. When he misses this week, you guys can text me and I'll take all the blame. So, all right, let's get out of here. It's been an hour. Great show. Good stuff. I can't wait to see Saturday. It's going to be great.
Go Big Red.
Go Big Red. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the game. Go Big Red.